going on, guys? It's Bitter here. Welcome back to another video. Alright guys, so today the head admin in charge of Hypixel Skyblock, Mr. Javaman, posted a very important thread on the Hypixel forums regarding a couple major updates that are about to come to Hypixel Skyblock. What I realized is many of you guys still do not know that this is a thing, so that's kind of a problem. When I did a live stream last Saturday, I realized that many of you guys don't actually read the forums, which I mean, it's completely understandable. I mean, the forums filled with rubbish like this. Like, look at this thread, okay? Let's start a war. We, dragon armor or tarantula whatsoever, not just ender armor, we declare war on you, Endernon. You all better surrender now, or else the dragon's den will now ban ender armor. What do you mean ban ender armor? That threat literally makes no sense, okay? I'm telling you guys, man, I lose brain cells reading these forum posts, okay? Like, legit, they make you lose brain cells. So you know what, guys? I'm gonna take one for the team, alright? I'll read and sacrifice my brain cells for all of you guys and inform you guys if anything important comes out on the forums. I think maybe that's a good way to go about things. I don't know. Anyways, that's all besides the point. So why is this forum thread so important? Well, basically this is a gear balancing thread, and basically a lot of things are about to be either buffed or nerfed coming out in the next update. And this actually could mean big for you, because it could mean that your armor set could become worthless in the next update, or it could mean that some random armor set is going to become worth a lot of money, and it's an amazing opportunity for you to make some money. So I mean, why do you want to lose out, man? Alright, but before we get started here, let me just quickly make a disclaimer first. I will not be covering everything in this forum thread because the forum thread is extremely long, okay? Like, if I cover everything, this video is going to be like an hour long or something like that. There's no point, okay? There's no point. So I'm only going to be covering the more important things. So for like stuff like, you know, the Radius X being nerfed from epic to rare, I'm not really going to cover that because it's like a small change and isn't really going to affect gameplay. I'm going to try to cover things that will affect the economy and gameplay by like a lot. Alright, so the first piece of armor I'd like to talk about that's going to have a major change is Strong Dragon Armor. As you can see right here, currently Strong Dragon Armor improves the aspect of the end ability by increasing the teleport distance by 2 and giving you plus 5 strength whenever you use the ability. Now let's be honest here, being able to teleport an extra 2 blocks with aspect of the end, that's pretty much a useless ability. Like, tell me a situation where you actually need the extra 2 blocks. It's pretty useless in my opinion. So Strong Dragon Armor is going to get a huge change in terms of its ability, and that is it will be giving the aspect of the end plus 75 damage, and that is the raw damage of the sword. And this is a huge buff to Strong Dragon Armor in my opinion, because giving you plus 75 damage on AOT makes the aspect of the end as good as, you know, the tactician sword, with it being the aspect of the end. Like, let's think about it, okay? Like, the aspect of the end is a very early, like a mid-game weapon, and the fact that now that sword can be as good as the tactician sword, like, it's a huge buff to Strong Dragon Armor. Alright, the second major change would be Ender Armor, and that is Ender Armor now will not drop from Zealots. Alright, and the drop chance of Ender Armor is getting completely nerfed as well. But anyways, Ender Armor is now gonna have a lower drop chance. The reason why they're doing this is because currently in the economy there's way too many Ender Armor. Like, if you look at the auction house, like, Ender Armor literally doesn't sell for anything. Like, no one bids on Ender Armor, okay? It sells for like 1,000 coins, and like the economy is completely broken right now. If you're like a mid-game player and you're trying to buy Ender Armor, you can get the full set for only 4,000 coins, which is insanely cheap, because keep in mind, okay, Ender Armor was worth 200,000 coins for the full set before, okay? Now it's 4,000 coins. It's kind of legitimately broken. They're also gonna be changing the Ender Armor sell price to 10,000 coins, because nowadays you can't really sell the Ender Armor on the auction house anymore. It doesn't sell for anything, so they're trying to make it more fair so that, you know, at least you can still sell it for the NPC for a good amount of money. So yeah, I'm not too sure what you're gonna do with this piece of information. Honestly, for me, I'll just stock up on Ender Armor because I'm pretty sure the price will go up after this. But yeah, anyways. Alright, so the next piece of armor that's gonna get a huge change in the coming update is Wise Dragon Armor. Well, in the forum post, they actually put Wise Dragon Armor as getting buffed. I completely disagree, okay? I think that the change that they are gonna do is gonna be a nerf to Wise Dragon Armor. Now, let me explain. So basically, what's gonna happen to Wise Dragon Armor is that it will no longer give you a 50% cost reduction of mana. It will only give you 30%. So basically, as of right now, Wise Dragon Armor reduces your mana cost by 50%. So let's say an ability costs 100 mana, it will cost 50 mana instead. But it's gonna be reduced to only 30% reduction. So what's gonna happen is, if an ability costs 100 mana, you will have to spend 70 mana now instead of 50 mana. So that's a nerf, right? Well, the thing is, Wise Dragon Armor will get an extra 150 intelligence. So you get an extra 150 mana to use. They're putting it as a buff because they think that the 150 intelligence you're getting more out of Wise Armor is gonna offset the 30% nerf. I don't think so, because I think that in general, it's still gonna total out to be less, because this change will actually devalue the reforges of the Wise Dragon Armor. So basically, as of right now, if you have a very wise reforge, you get 150 extra intelligence. So usually what people do is that they will reforge the entire set to very wise, but with this change, this 150 intelligence will not change at all, but instead the abilities will now cost a bit more than it used to. So if you do the math, in total total, it's a nerf, okay? Now, you can go do the math on your own, but I think generally it is a nerf because actually buffed the Reforgers, so Wise Dragon Armor is getting nerfed, unfortunately. I have no idea why they're putting it as a buff, okay? It's fake news, I'm telling you guys, it's fake news.
You are fake news.
Alright, with the Wise Dragon Armor nerf, there's another big thing that comes along with Wise Dragon Armor very often that's also getting nerfed, and that is the Rogue Sword. Alright, so they put in the forum post that the Rogue Sword is only going to receive changes, not a buff or a nerf, by saying that the ability cost will now be reduced from 60 mana to 50 mana, but instead, it will only give you 10 speed instead of 20 speed. So as of right now, the Rogue Sword gives you 20 speed for 30 seconds with a cost of 60 mana. With this change, the Rogue Sword will now only give you 10 speed, but it will cost only 50 mana. Now this is obviously a nerf because if you do the math, that is like, it's like half the speed of what you used to get, so it's obviously a nerf. It's not changes, okay, it's nerf. Anyway, so now you guys might realize something. Oh wait, they're nerfing Wise Dragon Armor and they're nerfing Rogue Sword. Why is that the case? Well, that's because currently there's a really overpowered strategy in the end, which is to wear the Wise Dragon Armor and use the Rogue Sword. Let me just show you how it works. So basically, you use the Wise Dragon Armor and the Rogue Sword, you can go Super Saiyan speed in the end and basically kill a ton of Zealots every hour, grinding you tons and tons of summoning eyes. Basically, it's an extremely overpowered strategy, and yeah, they're kind of nerfing it now, which is kind of sad because once again, Hypixel is nerfing everything that becomes OP, am I right? I mean, the Wise Dragon Armor is not cheap, okay? Like, it's expensive to get a Wise Dragon set, and the entire Wise Rogue strategy will be completely gone after this update. I think this is going to be one of the biggest changes that's going to come in the next update, so be sure to tell me your opinion regarding this change down in the comments. I really want to hear more people's opinion on this because, I don't know, personally, I'm not really that supportive of it. I feel like it's a bit too harsh of a nerf, but yeah. Alright, so now that the Wise Dragon Armor has been nerfed, you guys might be wondering, Bitter, what do we use now then? What do we use for speed in the end? Because the Wise Dragon Armor is going to be terrible for the, Rogue Sword strategy. It's not going to work anymore. It's going to be garbage. So what can we use now? Well, you can now use Young Dragon Armor. So Young Dragon Armor is going to get a huge buff in the next update. It's going to receive plus 20 speed per piece, which means that if you wear the whole set, you get 80 speed extra, which is a huge buff from its current 36 speed. So basically, you get way more speed than you used to before. And when you wear the Wise Dragon Armor, your speed cap increases from 400 to 500. I think this is a huge buff to Young Dragon Armor in my opinion. It's going to make Young Dragon Armor extremely overpowered for speed. And if you guys are still wanting to use the speed strategy for the end, Young Dragon Armor is now the answer. No more Wise Dragon Armor, which I think is pretty funny. This new buff still does not make Young Dragon Armor as good as the Wise plus Rogue strategy. It's still slightly worse, but it kind of does make Young Dragon Armor actually worth something in the next update. So if you guys are looking to make some money, buy the cheap Young Dragon Armor now. It's gonna get buffed soon and you can sell it off again for a lot of money afterwards. So, and on that note, the Protected Dragon Armor as well as the Old Dragon Armor are both receiving massive buffs. I'm not gonna go into detail here because there's so much stuff that's gonna change with those armor. Go read it yourself, okay? Legit, it's gonna have a huge buff. So those two sets are probably gonna increase in value as well. Alright, the next big armor set that's gonna receive a huge buff is Perfect Armor. And now Perfect Armor is long due for a buff, okay? Like the armor set is not good at all for how expensive it is. The thing is, I still don't think this buff is that great, but based on what the admins have explained in the forum post, I think it's good for the future. Let me explain. So basically, Perfect Armor now gets an extra 5 extra defense for each tier. 5 defense isn't that much, honestly. Like, even for 10 tiers, it's like 50 extra defense. But Perfect Armor is getting 2 extra tiers. So instead of having only 10 tiers, Perfect Armor will now have 12 tiers, which is, I mean, it's definitely an improvement, but you need to spend more material to get the stuff, so it's not exactly that great of a buff. The thing is, Perfect Armor will still be a defense only set. It does not give you any other stat, and that kind of makes Perfect Armor still not very great. Like, Superior Armor is still the best to use because Superior Armor gives you extra strength, crit chance, and crit damage, which is, more important for damage and stuff. Perfect Armor still does not give you that, so yeah, still not that great. But the thing is, the admins have put in the forum post that they'll be adding new PvE content in the future in which being tanky truly matters, which means that in future updates, there might be bosses that do a crap ton of damage but may not have much health themselves, which means that you need to wear Perfect Armor to defend against them and so that you can actually win the boss fight. So I personally think that Perfect Armor will be really good in the future when there's more bosses that's more oriented around defense instead of damage, because right now the bosses are all oriented around damage, right? The more damage you do, the more better loot you get, so it's all about damage. But in the future, it might be about defense, and that's when Perfect Armor becomes good. So should you get Perfect Armor? That's up to you. Honestly, I think this is going to be a very long-term investment. You're not going to get quick money out of this, honestly. So alright, so the next major change will be the Tactician Sword. Tactician Sword will lose 10 weapon damage. So currently right now, the Tactician Sword max does 210 damage, but with this upcoming update, they're gonna nerf it to 200 damage, basically to make the Tactician Sword not that overpowered. I mean, to be fair, the Tactician Sword is kind of OP. Like, it does more damage than the Pigment Sword, which is kind of broken in my opinion. So they are nerfing it to be slightly worse than the Pigment Sword. sword now. And yeah, so tactician sword not that great anymore. It's still really good in my opinion. 200 damage is still really good because it's like not that hard to get, let's be honest here. So that being said, the pigment sword is actually getting a buff in the next update. You'll get an extra 5% crit damage. Not that big of a change in my opinion. So alright, the last change that I think will be majorly affecting the economy is gonna be the aspect of the dragon's drop chance. So basically, the aspect of the dragons is not gonna be nerfed in terms of damage or whatsoever. It's only gonna have a reduced drop chance. So what do I mean by this? Well, basically currently the aspect of the dragons has a really high drop chance from dragons. I mean, it's not that high, but it's kind of broken right now. And because of that, AOTDs have like completely lost value. As you can see right here, you can buy an AOTD for like 6 million coins. This used to be 10 million, guys, okay? Buying an AOTD used to cost 10 million coins. Now it's 6 million. So because of the drop chance from the dragons and magic find, that completely ruined the AOTD economy. So this change is obviously trying to fix that. But this is actually a huge nerf to summoning eyes. And I think the admins completely forgot about that. That is, if you nerf the AOTD drop chance, grinding summoning eyes, like fighting dragons, is not going to be very profitable anymore after this. Because usually when you fight dragons, you don't make a profit unless you get an AOTD drop. And if the drop chance of AOTD is reduced so much, it's not going to be very profitable. So basically, we'll be seeing half as many AOTDs on the market. But what does this mean for you guys? Well, it means that the AOTD price is going to increase after this update. So buy all the AOTDs from the auction house because you can resell them off for like way more coins once this update comes into effect. I mean, I'm not too sure if this is actually going to be the case with the economy. Like, you can never predict the economy, but take it what you will. Take it what you will, alright? Alright, so that pretty much concludes all the important stuff that I've talked about in this recent forum thread. There's a lot more changes. If you want to go see every single change, go read the forum post down below. And also, do keep in mind, none of these changes here are final yet, okay? These changes are only tentative proposals by the admins. So if you do not like something about a change that's about to come, what you can do is you can go onto the forum thread and leave a comment there. I'm pretty sure that JavaMan is still looking for more opinions regarding the changes. So if you feel like, you know, maybe the Wise Dragon armor nerf is a bit too harsh, you can go there and leave a comment telling him not to nerf it so hard. And maybe he'll listen to you. I mean, this entire list of changes are actually derived from a lot of players leaving their comments. So if you have any suggestions, go to the forums and leave a comment. And yeah, you could potentially change the future of Skyblock, you know? And lastly, guys, I want to hear you guys' comments on this update thread. Like, there's a lot of changes that are about to come to Skyblock, so I want to hear you guys' opinions on this as well. And yeah, with that, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. It has been a great one. Hopefully you learned something. With that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys all next time. Have a good one, guys. Peace!
Drop it like it's hot.